There's something so beautiful and capable when a knife has a well-executed Scandi grind. And in today's video, we're gonna talk everything Scandi. As I share with you the 10 best Scandi knives, and on this list, there isn't a single MORA. Why, you may ask? I have nothing against MORA. They make epic Scandi knives, but I wanna share with you some alternatives that will blow your mind. So let's not belabor it any longer. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'm Aaron, this is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in. Now we're gonna start things off with two knives from a Finnish company, one more budget friendly, and another one that's more refined with a more capable steel. And throughout this video, if you are familiar with the particular knife I'm talking about, there are chapters below in the timeline, so you can hop around there. And obviously, guys, this is just my opinion, and I look forward to seeing the comments below. Let me know what your favorite Scandi knives are that you use, whether or not it's a MORA or not. Now we'll begin with the Brisa Hiker 95. Got a little tiny bit of give, got these kind of fish scales, which give it a cool little pop, lanyard hole out the back, good little indexing there, fills out the hand very nicely. You can, do any type of grip for an extended period of time. That's something you want to be looking for in your Scandi knives. How good is the handle? Pretty basic is what you're looking for to get a lot of long-term use with the blade and doesn't fatigue your hand. Now the steel on this is Sandvik 12C27. That's a basic stainless steel you'll find on a lot of Scandi knives from Europe. It's easy to resharpen, holds a decent edge, and will fight off the rust pretty well. Now, what's interesting about this blade that you don't find on almost any of these other ones, I think any of these other ones we're gonna look at today, is that this has a swedge. Pretty pronounced swedge that starts kind of flat back here and then tapers down to a precise tip, which is unusual, meaning that if you get up really close and you like doing really fine cuts with your thumb and using your thumb as leverage there, true bushcrafting and making really fine stuff, and you use your thumb a lot to put pressure on the spine, there are better options out there. Now, the sheath is a really nice leather friction held sheath with a dangler. I mean, beautifully done. And this thing in America, in the States, usually goes for about $55. They do have a full flat grind version as well for those who might be interested. Same profile, just full flat and no swedge. So that's kind of interesting. I know they're a little bit cheaper over in Europe usually, but that's a really cool, lightweight, rather inexpensive alternative. And then if we flip gears and go to the opposite side, the Brisa Trooper. Oh my gosh, guys, this is one of my faves. I love this knife. It's rather robust, full tang construction, beautiful blade profile. You can get all types of different pinned in handle scales. This happens to be green micarta with red liners. Now this is slick micarta. It's not textured at all, but you have just enough of an indexing there that's not like a puko. No jimping obviously anywhere. Razor sharp 90-degree spine. Flat spine all the way down, and you can get these with lots of different color combinations as well as material, including curly birch. I know there's a version of that for the Trooper. Definitely a little bit, again, on the thicker side, but the edge geometry is just mind-boggling, and it's on 80 CRV2 steel, which is a high carbon steel. It's uncoated, so you may want to do like a patina, forced patina with vinegar. You could dip it overnight in vinegar, things like that. You could do like gun bluing depending on what type of use you're going to be doing it. Be careful with that with like food. And then you are going to get a really nice leather sheath, double stitch there, two different attachment points. The only downside is, boom, the friction is terrible. It's basically, you're gonna have to wet form it. The sheath tension is not really there. If you flip it upside down, you could easily have it just fall right out. So you would need to wet form this in some way to get it a little bit snugger. That would be the only critique, and it will have a lanyard on there. And it goes from like 150 to 175, depending on the handle scale variant you decide to go with. And guys, throughout the video, there will be links in the description box to all the affiliate networks I regularly partner with, where you can find all of these different blades, so that if one of these models makes sense for you and it's time to pull the trigger, always appreciate when you use this, when you use the hyperlinks provided. And this is a great shareable video for people who are either getting into knives, want to learn more, or they're thinking about a Scandi. I hope this video is educational and kind of gives some food for thought as well. Now, these next two are the most budget friendly in our list, but they cannot be ignored. And I'm talking about the cold steel Fin Hawk and the folding knife version in the Finn Wolf. The Finn Hawk can be scored for well under 30 bucks, like almost anytime, anywhere. I think I paid $22 for this model, and I think I paid 35 back in the day for this model, and still floats right around there between 35 and 40 bucks for the pocket knife version. Now, the nice thing is this does have a 90-degree spine that will throw sparks very easily, and I really like the contours and ribbing on the handle there. It does have a lanyard hole standard. It just has a very organic and kind of standout profile. The only downside is that the polymer sheath, though very similar to what you would find on a lot of MORAS, and it does hold it very well and have excellent tension, there's nowhere to push off, and because the tension is rather strong, you kind of tend to fight with it to get it out, and it would have been great to just have a thumb ramp. So you may have to like use a heat gun or something, kind of mold down this plastic a little bit and flare it out so you have something to kind of push off. I just haven't gotten around to doing that. But this is an excellent option. And then I want to let you guys know about today's sponsor, which is HUCKBERRY. And it's been great to partner with them for going on a year now, and during Cyber Week they have tons of sales dropping throughout the week that you can get awesome discounts on all types of gear and apparel. And regardless if you're looking to score some new footwear, like their exclusive Danner 917 Logger mock design boots, which I have been using and are so comfortable and so durable, or a wide variety of backpacks from companies like Mystery Ranch, or their American-made apparel from Flint & Tinder, like the 10-year pullover and zip-up hoodies, or the wax trucker jackets that I totally love and are built to last, as well as a great selection of EDC equipment, including pocket knives as well as Leatherman multi-tools. And for those of you US customers, you'll find that there are many items that include not only free shipping, but also free returns through January 2024. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of not only the gear and equipment that HUCKBERRY carries, but the customer service that they offer. So I'm gonna have that linked over to the HUCKBERRY homepage in the description box below this video, where you can check out all the different sales that they have running this holiday season, as well as my exclusive 10% off promo code that you can apply towards your very first purchase. So I invite you guys, hop on over and check out all they got to offer. And then the folder, very cool. Love that. 90-degree spine as well. Excellent edge geometry. Even though the triad lock is basically indestructible, there's an argument to be made that you could carry like a midweight survival knife, think of like an SE6 or a Lion Steel M7, and then carry this for all of your super precise fine work, because that's what you tend to do with a Scandi grind anyway, and it could almost alleviate the need for a belt-carried Scandi, some of these other blades. In some ways, this could eliminate the need for any of these other knives that we're going for. Now, there are some limiting factors. It's nice to have an ambidextrous pocket clip, ambidextrous thumb stud, and a good ergonomic handle. You can do a reverse grip. Even though it is pretty thin, it's rather ergonomic. The only downside that I've found with the design, made out of AUS 8 steel, which is a decent stainless steel, is that the thumb stud is placed in such a way that you may have to back it out to really get a true zero, to get that last like quarter inch right back there where you see that little stain mark. So that's annoying. It would have been better probably to have this like with a thumb slit cut in, so then you could get to the exact angle that you want without having to possibly back out the thumb stud to truly get the grind geometry that you want. Now we're about to hit the midway point of our list. This right here from Rokka Knives is the Wilderness Warrior. And this blade has a very slim profile, ambidextrous for MOLLE locks as well as blade tech locks. It does have a hole for a neck lanyard if you wanted to carry it that way. This is designed to basically be kind of a Scandi combat knife. That's how this blade is envisioned to be, a Wilderness Warrior. And you can see that definitely in the handle, even though it's still very ergonomic and has a little bit of a hull shape on that handle back there. It's full tin construction, glass breaker out the back. It is pretty sharp there with a lanyard hole. Now, I've never bumped into it or caused any pain. And then you have these nice ribbing points top and bottom with a little indexing cut in, and then a little bit of a flare guard. So it is definitely built to have a grip to stab and pierce, and the stock thickness encourages that as well at 0.2. So this is going to be the thickest, I believe, maybe my words a little later, but I don't think so, thickest Scandi knife we're gonna find here. Now, the Scandi Edge is Rockwelled at 63 on that 80 CRV2 steel again, with a differential heat treatment being a little bit softer on the spine, even though the spine is also 90, so you could throw sparks or scrape with it. But you can even see there it's a little bit more piercing, very capable in the outdoors. I've used it a ton that way, but it has the grip and the sheath attachments with excellent retention to really set you up to put on an LBE system if you wanted to use on a tack vest, something like that. And it's kind of overbuilt. Doesn't sacrifice itself too much in all the carving, and will definitely outperform a lot of other blades because of the grind geometry that was chosen on that knife. And it will usually go for about, I've seen it as low as about 140 to like 160, depending on where you pick it up and availability. And we might as well just talk about this Canadian-inspired Dragonfly 4.5 from Tops. Now, most American companies don't make Scandi knives. It's kind of hard to find, but this is our first one, made in the USA out of 1095 steel. Got a beautiful leaf-shaped blade there, pretty large, 1/8 of an inch full tang construction, nice fine tip. It's gonna be one of the finer tips that we're gonna see today. So precision is the name of the game with this blade. And what I really like about this is not only that full tang construction, but the really big handle. A lot of bushcraft knives are pretty compact, you know, they're small tools. This is much larger than, let's see here, I'll grab this guy. You can just see there, the profile definitely has a longer handle, longer blade, and it's impressive. About 4.5 inches overall blade length. Pinned in, tubed micarta, and a beautiful American-made leather sheath with a fire steel. There is kind of a 90, it's kind of tricky to find. It's better to do it right up here. That's where ideal, or you may need to grind that ever so slightly, but it does come with a fire steel, loop over, button snap, great tension. I mean, this is a great, beautiful package that kind of is different than the majority that we're gonna see here. And it'll usually go from like 150 to 175, depending on where you pick it up. Now, this is an excellent alternative if you want full tang construction, but you don't want to fork over the money of, say, like a MORAS Garberg. I'm talking about the El Salvadorian-made Condor Terrasaur. This knife is full tang construction. You can see it all the way through there with the polypropylene handle, lots of handle color combinations, got some good texture. It's definitely like that hardened plastic. Dense though, feels really good. Lots of different grip options. 1095 high carbon steel. It's got that nice staining right there, 90-degree spine, razor sharp spine back there. Does have that little micro bevel that we were talking about, but just performs so well. Feels really good. And then it does have, matching to whatever handle you get, polymer sheath, got 2 drainage holes, a little leather dangler, and you slide this off and rotate it. So it's ambidextrous, very slim profile, little thumb ramp right there, easy to pull off. This is kind of a more durable option. Now, if you've been living under a rock, you've been missing out on Joker knives. These are Spanish-made blades. Many of them come in Sandvik 14C 28N, usually Rockwelled 58 to 60. They do have some versions in N695 Bowler steel. You would expect when you hear Spanish and you hear those names, you're like, okay, well, you know what, $150 to $200 for like amazing pinned in wood or micarta handle scale options. I mean, we're talking liners, 90-degree spines with leather sheaths, button snap danglers. You know, okay, what do these cost? You know, $150 to $200? False. Usually, prices are going up a little bit just because of inflation, but you can pick these up on Amazon. This is the Ember. There's lots of variants though, but this is kind of my favorite. If you're gonna ask me like of the variants, the Scandi one, the Ember is my favorite just because of that classic kind of drop point, almost into a spear point. This guy goes for, I think 100 to 115, depending on handle material you go with and sheath variant, if you get a fire steel or not, around 100 bucks. So phenomenal. And these are gonna be a little more robust too, not only with the full tang, but these are about 0.14. So it's a hair over 1/8 of an inch thick. But the ergos are beautiful, so well done. I love using them, and that Sandvik 14C 28N steel is an excellent steel choice. So not only is it gonna be capable in the backcountry, and I've used many of them on many different adventures, but it also is gonna like look the part, right? It's not just a beauty piece. I mean, it freaking works to boot. So those are excellent options. Now, let's see here. As we kind of transition, a little bit more expensive, but just a beautiful piece. This one feels like a true Viking blade, and I'm talking about the Helle Guap I believe, or GOP. Don't mind my boys playing out as they're hanging out Thanksgiving week, enjoying their time off. It means like Bobcat, I think is what it means, Bobcat. Oh my gosh. And I actually scored this through HUCKBERRY. I don't know if they carry this particular model anymore, but they do have some Helle knives. But man, look at the curly birch handle, full tang, or excuse me, full handle, rat tail tang, pinned in like they've been making them for hundreds of years in Norway. Beautiful, beautiful blade. I mean, it does. When you know, hold this, it feels like a time capsule and you're going back 1,000 years and you're gonna go, you know, a Viking. That's how it feels. It's so organic in the hand. I love it. I love that aspect. This one has 12C27, so not great. Good leather sheath there. I love the little paw print, again, for like Bobcat or whatever. Nice slim, great dangle. Rotates a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful blade. Great tension as well. I love using this knife. I think there is a high carbon version as well out there. And there's like, these are like 130, I think, 135-ish ballpark. The one thing to note, I have not been hard with this. I've baton stuff about a $1/2 diameter, and that's about it. And that's all I'm really willing to split down. I don't chop with this thing just because I know the way it's built. It's not designed. Knives were not originally designed to do that. If I'm going to do that, I would rather use another knife. So this is ideal to pair with a saw and hatchet, not a standalone piece to process wood. Oh man, I've had tons of fun hanging out with you guys today. I love these type of videos, just thinking through things, unpacking things, and really learning, and I hope it has been fun and educational as we come to the last blade. Now this is gonna be the most premium, both in materials, but also in price point. This is the previously reviewed Reef F4 with a true zero Scandi grind. Now you can see there that I have worn it because I had to resharpen it because I put this thing through the ringer and got some edge damage, but I was able to bring it all out and keep that 0-degree edge in about, I think it was about 10 minutes with my little work sharp, because it has 3V steel. 3V steel is an amazing, it is in the carbon realm, but it's rather rust resistant. We did a left overnight in the snow and this didn't have any staining on the edge. 4-inch blade, 5/32 of an inch thick, nice, sharp, 90-degree spine. You can get these with all types of different micarta handles. That is one of the best selling factors of this knife, is this has one of the best ergonomic handles you will find. So full, almost an inch thick at its maximum right there, and doesn't really taper around the neck, so indexing is fantastic. You could literally carve with this like all day long. Has a lifetime transferable warranty, made here in the USA. Currently, when I'm making this video, to my knowledge, they still only have the ambidextrous leather sheath options. They will have a fire steel. You can choose on the Reef website, left or right carry. If you go to distributors, that may be trickier if you're lefty to find the leather. I know they're working on Kydex, so there will be a Kydex version coming as well. This is a pretty penny though. This is an investment. I mean, you are a bushcrafter and you use a bushcraft Scandi knife all the time and you want a 0-degree edge that's going to be built out of a really durable steel, because this thing is going to be about this thing is going to be about $335. $335. So this is an investment, but it is superbly executed. So guys, that's me, that's my mileage. Again, I look forward to hearing your list, your favorite Scandi knives that you own. And do you even use Scandi knives? Are they like your top tier, I use them all the time? Or are you like, I prefer full flats or Scandi, or excuse me, or saber grinds? You know, what do you choose and what do you use for these compact woodsworking tasks? Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Check out the video popping up. Subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.